Wake up, it's the Tim Stevenson Show.
Can you hear me, dog?
Ooh, I can hear you now.
Dude, you got a fresh cut, dog. That's a fresh cut.
Well, you know, I said I got to, if I'm going to be on the Tim Stevenson podcast, I got to keep it fresh cut, just
I
up
was
the
like,
class.
you came ready, dog. I'm like, shit. How you been, man?
Well, you know, I've never shaved my head before, so.
Oh, this is a first for you.
This is for a new role I'm doing.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What are you working on?
So we are going full in character.
Yeah.
So working on a boxing movie.
Oh.
Definitely.
That's up your alley, though.
It's up my alley, and I can't say that I'm not ready for it.
Wait, you can't say that you're not ready, or you're not ready?
I can't say that I'm not ready for it.
You were born for that shit. You've been boxing since I've known you.
For this one, I think so, sir.
Yeah.
For this one, I think so. I got a new setup. I can hear you really good on these, and I got a new mic here.
You got a lavalier.
If we're already starting the podcast, I just broke the fifth wall, or the third wall. What is it, fifth wall?
Fourth?
Yeah.
The
fourth wall. There it is. I just broke the fourth wall.
Yeah. That's
so,
okay.
But you can hear me good.
The good thing about recording is that I can edit anything. So because I've had to cut out, well, me and Stephanie Maroney talked. There was a couple of things that she said that she didn't want to be on air on YouTube. And I was like, I can edit it out. No big deal. And my buddy Matt and I did the same thing because he's a comedian. So he said some shit. And people were like, he was like, can we just cut that one little part out? I was like, all right.
Editing. You know what's funny, man? I can't wait to show you this. I didn't do my due diligence, and it's hilarious. I go to start my YouTube channel, and I'm going to do a live play-by-play of UFC, the new one with, I think it was Masvidal versus Usman. And I'm super stoked. I got everything set up. I go to push, record, go live. And it goes, sorry, rookie, you need 1,000 subscribers before you can go live.
What?
And I'm just like, yeah, man.
On YouTube, right?
On YouTube, bro.
That's like that's their thing. They don't want you to go live unless they know you got a following or some shit. Well, see, how do you think I'm getting my following? You know what I mean?
Dude, what's insane is I can't believe you're doing this, man. It's like, it's amazing because the platform, this YouTube platform is kind of made for you.
Right.
And what's amazing is I'm starting to appreciate, I really wish, I never was a computer guy. By the way, we can start anytime.
I've already started, so because I can
just
cut stuff, but it's all good. It's all good conversation already. So I'm always rolling just in case. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
About technology, and some other stuff. I think so. Technology you started with.
Well, I'm starting to appreciate it's funny, man. Seeing you have a YouTube channel with the banner and the Tim Stevenson Show with the graphic, right? For a guy who is computer illiterate, I'm such a diva. I'm in front of the camera, right? That's what I do. And I'm all about stay in your lane, right? Like, do what you do is good, and I do not do that good. So I stay in my lane. I work hard on what I do, and I let people who can edit and do camera stuff do that.
Right.
And I see your stuff, and I'm just like, because I'm going to start my YouTube channel, and I'm going, this is going to be a undertaking. Because for you, it's, that drag. For me, it's
forever.
You've been doing it forever, man. Just mixing music goes into the videoing and right up your alley, buddy. And then to see you have a podcast.
Well, I had a radio show in LA called the Tim Stevenson Show on Combat Radio, which is LA talk radio, for about 6 months, about 7 years ago. So I had already kind of got used to doing a podcast. It's radio, but at that time it was live, but you can listen, right? And you can tune in and listen. This would be pre-recorded like Rogan, and you just pop them in. You know what I mean? So I already kind of had a little bit of the skill set, but I went and I'm still in broadcasting school to enhance everything. So now the podcast has been getting to another level, especially once I like replace this, with a condenser mic. And
it's funny because that's the first one I was gonna get right there.
This one's actually not bad, especially for
not bad. Dude,
not
nothing's bad, bro.
That's true, especially now.
Bad.
Especially now.
Look at me. And this is it. This is hopefully the look.
That
but
is the
dude,
look.
It doesn't. That's it, brother. You can literally use your cell phone, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And nowadays, so I'm watching Fallon the other night, and I'm going, okay, so
Jimmy Fallon on what?
Well, no, because he's at home, and Colbert's at home, and Seth Meyers and Trevor Noah, they're at home. So
I don't watch television.
But they're zooming in. They're doing exactly what we're doing.
Television.
That's the reason why I started it again. Because I'm like, hey.
Interesting.
So, there was one, it was like Jennifer Garner, right? And I was like, okay, so she's in front of her laptop. So her sound isn't any better than what we're doing right now. It's not like crazy. They sent a sound crew to her house. So
yeah,
this is normal. So for me, I was like, okay, so the quality is the same. Some people might go, if, I think James Corden is doing like.
Oh, James Gordon.
James Corden.
I think it's Gordon.
Gordon?
James, right?
Late night, right? Late night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny dude. He's got an accent, right?
Yeah, that guy, right? He's awesome. So, but
love that guy.
You can tell, like, sometimes when he shoots, I'm like,
funny.
Good camera. So, wait, I know. So you're doing a boxing movie, but what about other stuff? Because you're funny already. Like, you've done stand-up, you've done hosting, you've done Lions and Tigers, Bears, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, my.
You know what I'm saying? We did a show at the House
Bro,
of Blues. Remember that?
What?
Right? Like
what do you? At the end of the day, guys like you and me are old school, right? And there's nothing wrong with new school, but
right.
Old school means like years of like in Taekwondo, it takes 4 years to get a black belt. Well, in dancing, it takes about 4 years to get a black belt.
Right.
In fighting, it takes 4 years to get a black belt. In boxing, in acting, 4 years to get yourself to a level of comfortability.
You need
8 years to get a black belt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, luckily, my mom is awesome, and we had great mothers. And I had no choice. My mom got me into it early, man. I had no choice.
Yeah.
I was playing Pop Warner football at Alamitos or Lawrence or one of those. Los Alamitos before I went to Pacifica.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing Pop Warner football, and I was doing that thing, man. My stepdad, Durand, had me in martial arts at like 9. So I was like spitting and getting kicked in the ribs, and like my nose was already gotten broken like a year into it, and like hard, probably a little bit too hard for someone at my age to be doing, to be honest. But that's how you get to a high level,
right?
But once I did that, man, my mom literally was like, I remember getting in the car, and all of a sudden I was at DeForest, right? And I just got done with football, and I'm like, not in the mind frame at all, brother.
Right.
But I was already in this thing called PDM, which is like an acting workshop, which was a really good workshop. I was already auditioning. Omar Price, who went to Pacifica, was in the movie The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. He played the son, and he was my best friend in Pacifica. And his mom was like, take Brandon to LA so Omar and Brandon can go hang out. And I went and met Shirley Wilson when she hired me on the spot. 7 auditions in, I booked exam. But I was already kind of in an actor's mindset. Dude, my mom took me to Jimmy DeForest. And I'm not, look, at this point, I'm like a football playing martial artist.
Right.
So you can probably assume where my mindset was.
Right.
Probably wasn't into dancing. So my mom takes me to Jimmy DeForest.
Yeah.
And I see this guy named Raul Cruz. Raul Cruz, she goes, I got to take you to this guy's name's Raul. She didn't even know you at this point. She's like, Raul Cruz is the best. You got to go to this guy. She's like, keep an open mind. This is real dancing. My mom's got an eye. She's a genius when it comes to development. So Cruz isn't there.
Yeah.
It's another fellow dancer who's a lot more feminine, because as you know, Raul Cruz doesn't like Raul Cruz
He's like a man
a
gay,
masculine. See, his thing is though, he doesn't see a gay man as having to be feminine. He's confused with that, right? Doesn't correlate. So for me, seeing someone super feminine and doing like really feminine movements, it was tough, man. I was really this close to never going back, and I was in the back, and it was the worst thing ever. I had 2 left feet. My shoes. I have a size 12 and a half foot, and in 6th grade I had a size 12 and a half. So for me to even do martial arts, the balance was tough for me, bro. So I get there. Finally, I get to meet Cruz like the second day. And I kind of, as a martial artist and knowing movement, I kind of understood his movement.
Right.
Dude, within like 2 weeks, he had taken me under his wing, made me his, you know how it goes, put me on a scholarship program, basically.
Yeah.
And then I was at Dance Factory. And I was standing next to him. And in 2 months, turns out I'm a prodigy at dancing.
Exactly.
Like, and I'm like, in 2 months, I look just like Cruz. And I'm at Dance Factory. I'm starting to teach. I'm at an accelerated pace. This has to do with my martial arts background, right? Being able to use my movement with the dancing. Then I meet you, and it's like, I think I'm doing hip hop the whole time. Little do I know it's techno funk, right? Cruz's own style. I'm a hip hop dancer. I go to see you, right? First time I ever see Tim Stevenson. I walk over and see whatever class it was, B or C, one of those rooms. And I see you, and you're like, I'm like, so I'm an asshole. And I didn't even know what hip hop was, and I was like, that's hip hop, because what I'm doing,
you're doing
yeah, that's not hip hop. It's amazing, but it's not hip hop. So it's funny, man. That's really funny. And then it's funny, like it's amazing timing, because right when I met you, I had basically was peaking and teaching with Cruz. So I was ready to move to another style. And then it was, once I started with you, you already know what happened with that. It was 4 years in shows and 15-minute pieces.
Right.
Like,
DeForest, man.
That's
where it was at, because DeForest was the only adult studio in Orange County, you know.
That is true.
At that time, especially. I mean, that was putting people like you and me in the room, and some other cats who, like Bobby Newberry, ended up choreographing for like Lady Gaga or some shit. You know what I mean? So like, you know, that was it. But you know, I broke a mold at DeForest, because DeForest was, you know what I mean?
How did you, before you go into that, did you, was it through Leanne, or how did you get into DeForest?
So I forget. It probably was Leanne, because I think what happened is I met Leanne in college. And when I ended up in a jazz company with Miguel, and Leanne was in there. Oh, actually, we met Leanne at a March of Dimes show that me and Miguel did, and then we ended up at Orange Coast College, and that's where we met back, right? So,
OCC. Did we go to every school, the same school? Is that what happened? I mean, we both went to Pacific.
Well, that's where you go in Orange County, especially if you want to rock female. You go to OCC.
Or OSHA, but I didn't go the OSHA route.
Yeah. So wait. Just because I don't know, you could smoke that on YouTube, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I was just checking. Well, yeah, because they have a hot boxing. Well, that's not YouTube.
Yeah, I could literally they have growing channels. It's pretty scary nowadays. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's completely legal, just like
well, it is in California. That's where I get it from.
Just like alcohol.
Yeah.
And everyone is allowed to grow up to 6 plants for own personal use. So it's literally now it's just.
Well, I mean, Cali is like that. I was just there, actually, because Tyson's mom passed. And then so I flew in last Tuesday.
That's right.
For the funeral. And I was there for like 3 days and came back. But I made sure that, you know, I stocked up on what I needed and then came back, because I'm in Florida. So, you know.
What's up with Florida? How's it go down there? It's illegal.
Well, the imagery is.
We're talking about marijuana, kids.
Yeah, but that you can't get. It's like you have to have cancer to get a card out here. Like there's still now.
It's a little ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, there's about 5 or 6 growers, agricultural people who have been growing, but they can only sell to certain doctor facilities or medical facilities. And going through those hoops, you could probably get a car, but you got to go through a lot of hoops. And it's not readily accessible because technically, like in Cali, you know what I mean? Like I could just walk in and I'm good. And I walk out and I'm good. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing, you know what I mean? So here it's still,
As you should be able to.
oh, you got marijuana or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm like, catch up. It's Florida. There's enough weirdos out here that bath salts are free, right? So why not marijuana? You know? So
And it's the low. It's like at the end of the day, especially nowadays, it's like it's on the lower end of the totem pole of importance.
oh yeah.
Look, let's stop messing around. Go ahead and just make billions off of taxes.
Right.
And basically just stop it. Stop it.
Mhm.
Because at this point, man, like stuff's starting to get embarrassing. The adults that are running the country, you know, it's disappointing because for me, I've been like head down, focus on like growth, helping others, and trying to just like be appreciative of the things that we're able to do in countries, right, in the United States,
Right.
or in other countries. I went to the Philippines recently. That was pretty
Right.
awesome. But you know, it's sad when you pick your head up from the sand and you're like, oh shit, because I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk politics, and I don't want to talk religion.
Seriously.
I don't like games.
Right.
I don't like sides. I never did.
Right.
I never did.
Good.
You know, and if you're gonna make me choose and you want to put me in a box, then why have a conversation with me? If I don't mean to quote Jordan Peterson exactly, but why am I gonna get to know someone if
Right.
every time you see someone you're like, that's a Democrat, that's a Republican? I
Oh,
already know
dude,
he's
that drives
well, then
me.
why are we even talking?
Dude, it fucking drives me nuts. Everybody wants to put, like you said, everyone wants to put you in a box. I've had thousands of conversations with people, and that's why I just like started deleting feeds so I don't see all the crap on Facebook or whatever. Because everybody's like, oh, well, you know, it's the liberal left and it's the radical right and it's this and it's that, and I'm like, we're all people, right? Why does everybody choose the Cowboys or the Patriots? Does it really matter? No. At the end of the day, you're playing for that team, right? And whatever it's always like, oh, because the Democrats are doing that. Oh, because you have a Democratic governor or you have a Republican person, this, that, and the other. And I go, when I get up in the morning, I don't have an emotional connection to either party. I don't go, oh my gosh, what are the Democrats going to do? Oh my gosh, what are the Republicans? I just don't do that. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I
who
mean?
does that?
You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I'm gonna
Well, people do that, I guess. Yeah.
do all day. Some people just can't help, no matter what you say. You'd be like, hey, you know, like the other day I was taking the trash out. Neighbor was like, hey, neighbor, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. How's the family? Great. You know, how's your family? He's like, good. You know, it'd be better if, you know, George Soros wasn't around. But anyway, and I'm like, you just had to throw that in there, right? Like,
We had to get that in, didn't you? Just a
Yeah.
little
just a
in the
little, like,
morning.
you know what I mean? Like, just I
Come
kinda,
on.
oh, like,
You know what's funny?
you must be a
Yeah,
Democrat.
my neighbors,
Right?
my neighbors are so cool, man. Every time I see them, it's literally like, hey, you going fishing? Like, is Reflection Lake popping? Like, it's nice. Hey, let me know if the guy who's picking up like metal stuff comes by. I got this icebox and we're good. That to me is, dude, it's so important because we cannot. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you say and whatever I say and whatever the most popular person on social media or media says, it literally doesn't matter
No.
because they don't make the decisions. So it's literally, it doesn't make, there's no point in arguing and having an emotional connection. You know, as a person that when you're getting emotional, it's a chemical firing.
Absolutely.
Neurons firing and making a signal, and then that's so you're telling me that you can't control your chemicals,
right?
If that's what's happening, that we're just at the point to where we can't control our chemicals, because that's what it is. Do you think you're doing something? No. Did you even know that your eyeballs are part of your brain? When in development, your brain, those two holes, eye sockets, the brain pushes out and it develops those eyeballs.
Yeah,
part of your brain. I just learned that on the Joe Rogan show.
Joe Rogan,
so
boy.
One, we don't know anything. Two, it doesn't matter what we say. So here's my new thing.
Yeah.
If someone talks to me aggressively,
Right.
if someone looks at me with a frown and the
Right.
energy is bad because
Walk away.
of something they think that they actually are, like, okay, so when someone talks to you and they think that they're like, they have to tell you this because it matters, right?
Oh
that
yeah,
you
because
change
they
your
found out
opinion.
some secret truth that you don't know, right?
And you have to, and dude, and they have to save you, almost kind of like religion, right? They have to save you, because if they don't, dude, you guys aren't going to win the vote. Don't you know that none of that really matters, man? Votes are being like cheated and stuff, and it's like a part of our culture now. So what are we talking about? Let's get back to getting healthy, creating, getting some land, being sustainable, right?
Growing your own crops.
Growing your own food. You should see
Right.
my backyard. I post a little bit of it. Bye, Des. Love you. My gorgeous little sister's leaving, right? She's taking off. Don't know where she's going, mate. Hopefully she's safe.
Well, at least the lights
Love you,
on.
sister.
Right.
Destiny's a name. I named her Destiny. Soleil's a middle name after Soleil Moonfry. Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster. You know, I met her in person as a grown-up.
She's just gotta be
Dude,
gorgeous.
it's crazy because, you know,
didn't she grow up?
She was a little freckled girl, right? So I teach a bunch of kids in the Palisades, like when I'm there. But when I'm here, I did it on Zoom last week, but all the kids in the Palisades. But I had Cuba Goody.
Teaching hip-hop class on Zoom?
Yeah.
Damn, boy.
Dude, times have changed. Zoom had no idea that COVID was coming.
Teaching hip, that's amazing.
Zoom is made for video conferencing, just like Skype, so you can see everybody on the screen, all in the same space, right? But because of COVID, everyone's been doing Zoom classes remotely. So they're doing this, except that when I did it the other day, there's like 12, 13 kids on my screen, all in boxes, all at home, at their houses, and I'm in my room in Parkland, and I'm going, doing the Tim thing, you know, all that, right? Like all that stuff, right? And then the teacher, the studio owner comes in the class because she's in a room with her daughter. He's like, "Hi, Tim." I'm like, "This is crazy. We're all here, but we're not." Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all here, but we're somewhere else. You know what I mean? And at first, I was like, "This is so weird," but then I was happy because I'm still working a little bit. You know what I mean? But you know, this whole thing is a first and weird and awkward, and everybody's trying to find out what to do. Some people won't have to go home. I mean, go back. If you're making more money in your garage than you were before COVID, you ain't going back. You're going to stay in your garage.
Or on YouTube.
Now, the great thing about podcasting is you're already in some place. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to be – Joe Rogan's like in his man cave. You know what I mean? He's like the biggest selling podcaster, period. So you can podcast.
Now he's moving to Spotify for $100 million deal.
It was like some stupid, ridiculous number. I'm happy for that dude. I mean, he's killing it. And what's crazy is that it's his podcast is so simple. It's a lot of smart people because he's a well-read person, right? He's well-read. He's very knowledgeable. And they're in there doing their thing. And you get one day of like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Then you have like Bill Burr, right? And then you get like Kevin Hart. And then you get like
this is a formula that has been going on for years.
Oh, absolutely.
Just in the studio, Joe Rogan was like, how do you turn this thing on? And then his buddy was like, I think Red Band was like, I think I got it.
Yeah.
And then they just started going. And
podcasting. Like, okay, so podcasting is talk radio with a camera, right? That's what it was. And if you're Rush Limbaugh or any of those guys who've been doing like talk radio forever on XM or on anything else, the only difference is you put a camera in it, you know. But it's great now for a lot of people. Like basketball players have podcasts now, and you know, everybody's got to do a podcast. Or you do like you make it interesting. So like I don't know if you've seen Mike Tyson has one on Netflix called
Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson.
You know what I mean? And speaking of Mike Tyson, so my wife runs dive operations in the marinas in the Bahamas, and they do Shark Week. Last year we hosted Shaq. The year before we hosted Michael Phelps, and this year Shark Week, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went diving for the sharks, dude.
Wow, you're kidding me, man.
Well, he's got to get that some more publicity right now. He's about to fight, right? He's about.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah.
Because that's right up my alley, sir.
That's in your wheelhouse, man.
That is in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. So he's about to and I don't know if you've seen him punch lately, but he still can fucking punch. Like, it's stupid how strong he is, even at his age.
You know what's funny about punching, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but so punching power is not natural. Okay. Some people are like, punching power is natural. You either have it or you don't. Some people are just born with heavy hands.
When you were born, your hands came out first. Like
they were just extra heavy.
And then your umbilical cord was like right here, right?
Everything else is underdeveloped, but the hands are massive, boy.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've got some massive mitts, mate. You know that.
Yep.
But the point is, it's not something that you're born with.
Yep.
It's something that you learn. And at the end of the day, mate, power is not something that's like. Power is something that you it's like dancing, right? You watch somebody dancing, and you're like, that guy's good at it, and then you just watch it, and then it becomes a part of you, right? So it's the same thing with boxing, mate.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're from. Sometimes you grow up and you see someone with power, and that's the way you copy it. Yeah. Sometimes you grow up and you see people with speed, and that's what you do.
Yeah.
I love that accent. I don't know where the hell that came from. I've been watching too much.
Conor McGregor?
Yes, who knows?
Well, way before
right.
Anybody ever did a good Irish. It was funny. So when I had to learn how to separate Irish from Scottish, right? Because I was like, and I was like, Irish from Scottish. And then I realized from watching like Braveheart that
Cockney.
Well, Scottish people talk from the front of their mouth, and Irish talk from the back of their throat, like back here.
That's so good.
But I had to learn that.
Buddy.
Yeah, I was like, I had to learn.
Sure.
No.
You know what's funny? I always, which I should, as an entertainer, I should try to get every accent down. Pat. Suisse malgré pourtant montre métanichant. Sometimes it's perfect, but the difference is if you want to speak somewhere like French, you can't overdo it. It's got to be subtle, very subtle. So it's the difference between a professional and someone who's not. Someone who's not a professional will be like, okay, I love it. This is a French accent.
And overdo it. I love French bread. Yes.
And a pro tries to make their own voice sound like French. That's the pro. That's the problem. That's the problem with acting is, people have to be French if they're going to be French. And that's the hard part about accents, man. And I should always be trying to get all of them in, but I've always only stuck to the ones that I know, and I try to.
I want to know what I should do.
I want it to be so convincing that you definitely think I'm whatever.
I would love to do. Okay, so if you study comedy, right? So Godfrey, yes. Right? Jay Farrow, Ari Spears. What's the dude who does like the best Denzel? I forget what his name is, but he's super dope. But like, is there a formula? Like, because I can do a couple accents, you know what I mean? But I'm not insanely good at a lot of accents. There's like their technique. Like, if I want to do Denzel, right? I can mimic a Denzel line, but it don't sound like Ari Spears. Yeah. Like, he's a genius. Like, it's so good.
No. Absolutely not. It doesn't work that way. See, so it works. It's all about the vocal timbre. So the timbre of your voice is going. The actual sound of it is going to determine on what accents you can do. Right. So like Scarface. Right.
Right.
Like, I guess, like, even when I sing, which is not good when I started singing.
And you started. I was in the middle of your set.
I was using. There's so much Richard Marx. I was using a Richard Marx amount of rasp.
Oh.
And then so once I learned how to sing and don't put chords together, I started realizing,
okay, I could do a really good Tony Montana or something like that. You know, whatever, mate. I don't care. So then I kind of like will stay in that lane or find other voices that sound like that. And I think those guys already have that kind of vocal timbre. And they're like, oh shit, I can do that.
They can shift like this, and they can actually learn voices super crazy fast. I can hear you.
I can't hear you now.
Oh, wait. Can you hear me now?
Let's see.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear?
Baby, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me? There he is. We're back.
I'm like, you ain't ready for this. Relax. I remember singing at the top of my lungs in that little apartment.
God, that was the best. Those were the best days.
Now, can you do, because you can do with Tony Montana, right? Can you do Al Pacino from Any Given Sunday? You know, you gotta crawl for your fingernails. That thing.
See, okay, so here's the deal.
There's
two. I'm supposed to look at you or the dog?
You know, it doesn't matter because I'm looking at you, but it means I'm not looking at the camera. So it's irrelevant. I go back and forth. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Ooh. Is it a Cuban? You want to know what the perks for being in Florida?
I can't get those here.
You know what the perks are for being you can get Cubans here. You can't get them in Cali. But you can get a dispensary there, and you can't get them here.
You can get a Cuban there?
Dude, you can get to Cuba in 45 minutes.
Are you kidding me? Listen to me, man. Yeah. I'm going to wire you some money. You're going to give me a Cuban. And when I come out there to visit you, Wayne, we're going to be doing that.
We're going to do that. For sure.
So there's two types of Al Pacino.
Okay.
There's the Scarface version, and then there's the Any Given Sunday, that kind of, some would say it's the same. It's not.
It's not.
Tony Scarface, he's doing a Colombian accent.
Right.
Some would say a bad one. And then some would also say an insulting one, like, because it was so over the top. Yeah. Cubans didn't like that.
Yeah, the real
But they didn't like that. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, you want to toast the foot of the cigar.
Okay.
This is the foot of the cigar, and this is the cap of the cigar. You want to make sure that you don't cut too much off the cap of the cigar.
Right.
Because the wrapping goes this way. Now, to get a proper smoke, you want to make sure that you toast your cigar.
Yes, that's a cool.
Because when you toast,
whatever you got.
And this is thank you, sir. I just got this.
Yeah.
Now, there's a little bit of elegance when it comes to cigars. Now, when you toast it, what happens is it makes the cherry, when you hit this, burn evenly. What that does is it keeps the temperature of the cherry even, therefore giving you a even burn.
An even
also,
burn.
Enhancing the flavor.
Yes.
Turns out cigars is my new hobby and passion. Yeah.
Why not?
Man, I'm changing every day.
Dude.
Really strange.
You constantly have to change. You know what I mean? Like, hence why I have a podcast. I may actually end up on radio because when I took the radio block, it's like an 8-month block that we're doing. I'm in the 3rd block now. So what happened is, because I've done this before, you know what I mean? Like, I've done radio, I've done acting, I've done singing, I've done whatever. I'm used to being in front of a mic. I've done voiceovers. We got into the radio imaging, and I do music editing. Well, everybody else doesn't really learn music editors, right? It took a couple guys. And then they're like, we got to put this radio show together. It's a pre-taped radio show. You put sweepers in, which are what you do on radio in between songs. You know, this is WMOT in the morning. This is Tim Stevenson right here in South Miami, whatever, right? And that's what you do.
Those are called sweepers?
They're called sweepers, right? They're like,
I love that.
You shout out.
I love the different vernacular of each.
Oh, and so now I'm getting the technical side. There's sweepers, and then you talk on the ramp of the song, which is the instrumental.
Oh, sure.
Instrumental part before they start singing, right? You're like, this singer comes from Memphis, Tennessee. You know him as an actor, dancer, singer, producer. Is Justin Timberlake, and then it goes boom into the song, right?
You know him. I like that.
You know what I mean? So I just do that, right? And I'm like, because my brain's thinking, so all the Chicago kids are dope because they're Chicago. So like they just like ride and die for Chirac, whatever, right? And
oh my gosh,
you know what I'm saying? So their mindset is, I'm doing Chicago radio. My mindset is, how do I get syndicated all over the place? How do I be Joe Rogan or Dak Shepard or Ebro in the morning or whatever, Ricky Smiley, people who like, when they talk, everybody's listening. right? Because I don't want to be stuck. So what I'm doing is what the teacher wants. Teacher's like, oh, we had a thing that was called Crazy Eddie. It says Crazy Eddie on the script, right? And it says, if you read it without any inflection in your voice, it reads like this. Who says Crazy Eddie ain't crazy? Crazy Eddie is going to have a summertime sale now, exclamation point, right? We got this, we're selling that. Come on down to Crazy Eddie or whatever, right? So he was like, we got to, and it says at the top, I'm the client, right? And the client says, I want it to be about the product, and I want it to be super animated, right? So then people come back, and they're
it's
like,
already a cold reading.
oh yeah, and they're like, and so the next day or the 2 days later, because you have time to like go practice a million times and get it right, and then record it and audition, right? So then they come back, and this guy on the voice was like, hi, Crazy Eddie. Who says Crazy Eddie isn't crazy? Crazy Eddie is having a summertime sale now. Come on down. Crazy Eddie. And I was like,
Oh my God.
So they're like, so who else has one? I sent you my MP3. He goes, Crazy Eddie's having a summertime sale now. Who says Crazy Eddie ain't crazy? Come on down. We're having a summertime sale. Don't miss out. And everyone goes like this. You sound just like the radio. And I go, isn't that why we're in this class? Isn't that why we're in this class?
Just like the radio.
Right.
Do you remember that day when the days when they were giving out like development deals, right? Like this is like when I was young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like eclipse days, right? That's like a day when I remember them. Everybody would talk about this development deal, getting in, and then they develop you, right? Mm-hmm. There's no development deals. Like you better.
No kick. Record labels, they're not doing development deals, but people like me who do artist development, however, and trying to get a niche of people who like need me to get them there, because record labels now they're almost obsolete at this point because you don't really need them if you have connects, right? Like I got this girl Aria on radio in Europe. Everybody here told me, oh, she needs 1 million hits on Instagram, and I said, oh, really? So I called a guy who knows a guy. That guy wrote "Love Don't Cost a Thing," and his team picked her up, and she's on 50 radio stations in the UK because I did that. So all I need is the right people. The money can come from her camp or whoever's camp. You don't have to pay record label prices, which is like a bank, right? So,
dude, I think we all have investors at this point in time. Like if you've been in the game for over 10 years, and you don't have somebody who's invested money in you, that's a problem.
Right. Yeah, that's a huge problem. People got to go, oh, like I just put a sizzle reel together for this reality show, and we're about to go shoot a pilot, but I already did the sizzle, and it's already being looked at Universal and some other places because I've been doing it so long that my sizzles and my decks look like what they've been getting, and it's almost sometimes too much, right? And it depends on who you're talking to. Like you can tell, just having a conversation. And then this guy says, well, make me a deck. I said, why? So that you can visually see what I just said to you. Okay, cool. So then I give you the deck, which is basically a written out version with pictures. You feel good about that? Okay, well, now I need a sizzle. I go, this is for you or the next guy. Because what happens is it's subjective to who's in the room all the time. And I have to tell people that. I go,
everything is subjective.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean shit. Turn on the TV right now and tell me how many shows you don't like. Turn on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and tell me how many shows you think are crap. All the shows that are on Rotten Tomatoes that have got horrible reviews are on platforms.
This is the part of the conversation where it's like, it's interesting, right? Because you have, I never understood how you could have, can you hear me?
Yeah. It's getting a little low, but I can hear you.
I never understood how you could have like.
There we go. Yeah.
How you could have, well, I do understand that, I guess, because if you have an investor who pays, and you have a crew that comes together, they're gonna do work, and people are gonna get casted, and then you're gonna get like Wolf in Burbank, whatever the B movie is.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's just like it's interesting though how see where everything is going. Everything is going to do it yourself. Do it yourself.
See, that's where I thrive right now in broadcasting, right? Because every teacher that we get in the certain blocks, like the first 2 hours the first 2 hours in the first block was podcasting. So D Stone is from Chicago, and he has a show called D Stone Live, which is on Intercom. You know what I mean? It's a major platform, right? And then I get now Edgar Garcia from Miami. He's on Telemundo, Univision, you name it, blah, 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 English and Spanish and other accents that he does, right? So the first day of class, somebody goes, why do you want to be in broadcasting school? This kid's like, well, because I want to be a rapper. I was like, okay, well, you don't really need broadcasting school for that, but cool. You want to learn how to record your own shit? Great. Right. This girl was like, well, I just want to do this podcast. Cool. Right. And then he goes, what about you, Tim? And I go, well, I want to do everything. See, I want to be the guy who, if there's not enough radio spots, can do voiceovers. And if there's not enough voiceovers, can run the TriCaster board. If there's not enough, if can't do the TriCaster board, he could be the boom operator or the camera operator. And he goes, that's why you should be here. I said, because I'm multifaceted, just like you. Like, I can go into a room and they can say, Tim, I need you to shoot, just like now, I need you to shoot a podcast. Make sure your sound design is right. Make sure you can, like, I dump this into DaVinci and clean it. Like, let's say your picture didn't have enough light, right? I can dump it into DaVinci and clean it up and then post it. So I can do all the things. And then I'm like, everything you saw on my podcast, including when you like watch Miguel, there's like that bar and everything. I did all that. I designed it in Photoshop and then I put it into Premiere, because I can do all that. So guys like me are an asset to them because they can pay me a bigger salary and it's still way better than paying 3 or 4 people.
Dude, and the other people who are in the class who are like, I want to learn how to like edit. Look, I don't even like talking down about anything, but do what you do, right? Look, some people are just ignorant to things or just not educated in things. So I can't knock somebody for not knowing they should want to do everything.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But guys like you who do everything can't get mad at that, dude. Like, you can't get mad at that. Like, it's like, yeah, man, I have no choice but to be like, yo, Tim, I need you to help me edit this stuff. Or I need you to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who's getting the work? You are.
Right.
So at the end of the day, man,
I'm okay with it. I'm like, look, I'm trying to work. I said, look, first of all, let's say I got a radio show. Let's say they give Tim 30-minute slot every day or 2 or 3 days a week, right? That 30-minute slot is probably paying me $300 to $500 because I have to go in there early. I got to lay down. The sweepers are already done because they're evergreen, right? They can be used at any time, right? And then you just do your ramp. So you go in there and you go, okay, well, in 30 minutes, we're playing Justin, Lady Gaga, Nicki, Taylor Swift, and whoever. And then you go in there and you do your ramp. So you go, okay, well, it's only 2 counts of 8. Ready? Click. Boom. Okay, so this next one, record it, and you just drop them in. It's already done. So basically, the only time you talk is when you're coming in and out of a commercial, which is only happening one time in 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, the thing will go boom, and they go, hey, what's up? This is Tim Stevenson. We're back here at WMOT in the morning. Just so you know, this just happened. Florida surpassed the entire world with COVID cases because people out here don't fucking stay home. Boom. And then you go into your next track. Right?
And that's so funny, man. Like how the language, dude. I didn't grow up with. I have the option to have a computer. I chose whatever else, equipment, whatever else I chose.
Right.
Maybe taking a class or doing a workshop. That stuff's kicking in the ass now, So you best believe I'm on it at night. And dude, I literally in 3 days, I went from a cell phone to a cell phone with a laptop, a cell phone with a laptop with mics, with pro mics, a cell phone with a laptop, pro mics, and a camera. And then I got the laptop yesterday. Like, okay, cool. Now I got everything. And then I went on the laptop yesterday, and just pulling up YouTube looked different. I pulled it up, and I was like, oh, now I can click on my picture and change that. Now I can do. I have nothing on the computer, so I got to learn how to do all that. But it's good. We're getting there,
But technology is saving my butt a little bit. It's not crazy. Like, I still need to get work and something for the pipeline. Now I have some things being pitched. Problem is, like people, I can sell it, and even probably get paid even before they turn a camera on. But like
Even if
people are
it
starting to
gets
shoot,
shelved.
they're going to Canada to shoot. People are like, peace out, LA and Atlanta. I'm going to Canada because I can go shoot there right now.
See, I don't want to give away all the secrets.
Yeah.
But since I'm on the Tim Stevenson show, nobody's giving away all the secrets.
This is where the secrets come out.
So right. So not only like, so I did this movie called shot a trailer, because you shoot a trailer, you bring it back to LA, you pitch it, you get funding, and then that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
So we go and I get this part. I'm the only American actor in this thing, right? So I learned some Tagalog. It's dope. So I go there for 19 days.
Yeah.
Right? I go there for 19 days.
Good food is. Dude, Filipino food is so good.
It's ridiculous. I mean, my grandma, I'm Filipino, Mexican.
My wife's Filipino.
Yeah. There you go. My grandma is like full-on Filipina. And Thanksgivings here are crazy. It's like lumpia and pancit, and then it's like turkey, fried turkey, American style, Mexican style, tamales.
Right.
Dude, 3 different kind of cultures coming together. But dude, so we go and I shoot.
That's a feast, man.
It's a feast.
So
we do this,
man.
It's a feast, Mike.
Feast is a beast, man.
What do you drink? What are you drinking over there now?
I'm drinking I would put it on camera, but then I'd have to cover that shit up. But it's a truly in love.
Are we in the tape it up days where you have to tape up the can?
You just blare that shit. Well, see, this one has my logo, so that's why I'm pouring in this glass. Somebody made one of these dance ones out here made this for me. I was like, you can make.
So are you gonna have to literally blur out the cigar?
No, because I can't see it. No, I won't blur that out.
Oh. No.
I mean, I don't really have to blur out a Truly. It's just that they're not paying, so why the fuck? I'm just like, look, I learned this from like watching The Breakfast Club with like Charlemagne and DJ Envy. Every time you see them, all their shit is in the back, behind them. So if you're gonna rock Long Beach, the hat's like chilling like that, and then I happen to own this tequila, and you know what I'm saying? Like, Drink Champs. Ever watch those dudes? The same thing. You know what I mean? Oh, this is as 50 Cent.
Oh, you talking about with like Noriega and shit?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Is it Noriega, the creator of Drink Champs?
I don't know what his name.
Oh no, I'm thinking.
You're thinking something else, maybe. Drink Champs.
Thinking,
everybody like Master P. It's all like rapper dudes mostly.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. He had Diddy on and Fabulous and shit.
Yeah.
That's the shit.
They're killing it. Dude, Matt Barnes got a podcast. All kinds of people got podcasts now. All the comedians do podcasting because that's what you do. And it's just the way now.
All the comedians have podcasts.
Yeah, everybody's doing the podcast.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
Huh?
Do I keep this going?
Yeah. Where you going?
I'm changing sets.
Oh, got it.
I'm changing locations.
You're changing locations. We'll be right back when he changes locations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back where I changed locations and I hit hair and makeup.
Yeah, we'll be back.
After these messages, we'll be
these messages back from Moat Incorporated. Right.
Well, here's the thing, brother. That's what's gonna be amazing. Like,
yeah,
like even if it's like we'll be right back after these for pay some bills, right? And then it cuts to like one of my commercials where it's like, hey guys, want to do a cool new podcast, whatever. It could be our own shit, just to have filler time. I've always wanted to do like not spoof products, but like our own stuff, man. Whatever, our own businesses, our own project stuff, and you do your own. And then when I do my stuff, you do commercials for me.
Right. And that's how we do it. We keep it in the family like that.
You make your own nucleus. Yeah, you make your own. Like, come on, people. How do you think? Well, how do you think? What is it? Joe Rogan. He has all of his little buddies, kind of like a little crew.
Yeah.
And they all do their own thing, you know.
Oh yeah, DJ Vlad. He doesn't even show his face, and he's got everybody on his show. You know.
You know what, man? It's funny. It's like we know so many people.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be some. There's got to be some. We'll talk about this right now, but there's got to be more of a niche.
We'll be back.
Changing location. Do you want me to
But don't log off. Don't log off.
No, I'm not gonna log off.
You can turn your video off if you want, but just don't log off and then just pop back on. I'll wait for you.
Boom.
Now it's like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
I see a roof and some trees.
The soundtrack. Give you a little tour of the house, mate. Just give you a little tour of the house, right?
That soundtrack, man. I need the soundtrack. I have a soundtrack song. Wait, do I have a song? Where is it? My library. Sound check. I got a sound.
Once I get up there, it'll sound better.
I got a sound check.
I'll leave it open, Dad.
Ready? Listen to this. Where is it? It's burning in here. Emergency. Super group of the year. Emergency. It's burning in here. Emergency. Keep the aisle clear.
The aisle's clear. Dude, you know what's funny?
What?
It's like, well, one, we got to just get organized with all of our, whatever music we've done, all that stuff, and then just this we'll be like, this commercial is brought to you by Emergency, and then we'll just play the song. You can find it. You can get this record on Spotify. Whatever.
Dude, there's so many. Like you can do. So I'll have to speak my little video. Actually, I'll send it to you on I put it on YouTube. But one of the things we had to do is shoot a music video for our second class, where the concept was, we know we're in COVID, so you may have to shoot yourself or anything at home. So everyone was like mulling over shit, and I was like, shit, okay. So I shot myself down like on the couch, and then I hear a noise, right? But it's playing music in the background. It's Michael Jackson, and it's Is It Scary? Like the ghost, Michael Jackson's Ghost, right? So then what I did was I went downstairs and I turned off most of the last up a couple. I set up a camera, my POV. I set up a camera of the POV of the room, and then you see the camera pan, and then you see me, but you don't know it's me on the outs because I have these glass things on my doors. So I'm outside and I'm going like this. Well, my dog was barking because he can see somebody. So he's barking, and I just used it, and then I colored the whole thing like pink and purple. I'm crawling up the stairs in slow-mo. I'm in the bathroom, and you see me with a knife. You see me like run from one hallway to the next, and the next time you see me around the corner with a knife, dude, and everyone was like, oh, fuck. I said, I shot a whole video with just myself. They're like, how did you get that shot? I go, it's on a fucking tripod. And just to be funny, because everyone was like, oh, I need some dope-ass camera. I go, and I shot the whole thing with my iPhone. And they're like, how'd you do that?
Just the iPhone?
Like, dude, iPhone shoots in 4K. I mean, I have real cameras, but I didn't need it. Not for that. This is just a little school project. And it's not about the camera. It's about who's behind the camera. You know what I mean? You know, your lighting and whatever. So I did that, and everyone was like, dude. I was like, whoa. Oh, uh-oh. It was busting out some. Dude, that's Every Little Step I Take. Bobby Brown, dude. Killing it.
Every little step I take. Dude, I mean, come on, legend.
We'll be there. Like, yeah,
that's a legend.
Yeah, man.
This is the movie script I got.
Oh, snap.
It was called Flip Side, obviously a working title, and then they ended up changing it to Kulai, which means color.
This is in Philippines?
And then, yeah, we got back to the Philippines, shot the trailer, and the trailer went well. It looks good. And then, oh yeah, a global pandemic happened. So
it's killing me. Yeah.
Basically, we can't go back. Well, we can, but right now it's just tough to get us back to the Philippines to finish or do anything. And to be honest, we still, as far as I know, don't have the full budget or finish the investors coming in to start shooting anyway. And who knows what the rules are. So now what happened, it's funny how that turned into like a blessing, right? Like now I basically just was like, oh, okay, so that means like I'm going to green light myself. So now I just greenlit myself and I'm doing this movie, my passion project. which I feel is comfortable. I have like 4 films that are going to be, as realistic as it can be, because I'm going to do something that's never been done before. As far as I want to do a boxing movie, and I want to do like a mixed martial arts movie. I would love
to cameo in this film.
Well, hello. Obviously, listen. I would love to do.
I could sweep
okay, how about this?
The boxing ring.
No. How about this? How about you be one of the cornermen?
I could do that. I could definitely do that.
Okay, yes, you could.
Yeah,
obviously.
I could do that.
What I would like to do is play George Masvidal.
Old school boxer.
I think no, George Masvidal, UFC.
UFC
BMF title holder.
Ooh.
George Masvidal. He's long hair. They call him Street Jesus. He just knocked out Ben Askren with a flying knee. He just beat Nick Diaz for the BMF title. This guy's a badass motherfucker.
Yeah.
I would like to play him, or play this guy named Tony Ferguson. So and I'm telling you, man, no one else can play these guys. When I say no one else can play them, I'm talking about literally no one else can play them as far as like skill level. And I say that with no ego. I'm just saying, like I'm okay with people saying like, oh yeah, I took real punches in this film. Like, a punch got in there, but don't say it's real. Don't say you took a real shot.
Yeah. No one was.
That's anybody, bro. That's the best.
Yeah.
I'm talking to anybody. Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan.
Right.
I'm a grown man. I'll say what I want. And if you're stepping into my lane, which is movie making and fighting, then I'm going to call you out on it. Because if you're going to make a movie, then you need to be taking real shots. So I'm going to change the game, man. I want to do something that no one's ever done before. I'm telling you, I'm giving you all the secrets on the Tim Stevenson show.
You're the only, okay, but in their defense, they're actors, right? You're
absolutely,
you're an actor.
I'm SAG. I'm Screen Actors Guild. I'm union, and they are union as well.
No, but I'm saying
it's not my fault, baby.
They're playing a boxer. You would be playing something that you already are, right?
But here's my problem. My thing is in the interviews. The movies are okay. It's obviously cringy and tough for a real boxer or someone who knows martial arts to watch them try to jump rope or try to shadow box. Right. I give them a C for effort.
Right.
But it's the talking after. It's the interviews after. It's the yeah, man. I'll fight Roy Jones Jr. Like Michael B. Jordan said he could fight Roy Jones Jr. in an actual boxing match. I'm just like, okay, guys, the overconfidence and whoever's in their corner.
That's the show, right? Isn't that? It's like Conor McGregor and Mayweather. I'm like, come on, man. You can't put Conor in a boxing ring and you can't put Mayweather in the UFC. It doesn't work like that.
This dude was serious, though. Like, he comes out of the club on TMZ, and this dude's dead serious. Like, no, I'm pretty nice. I can do this. And then, like, Sylvester Stallone saying that some of those rounds were real. It's like, dude, that's Dolph Lundgren. All 6 whatever and 260 pounds of Dolph Lundgren punching you. It's gonna break everything. So what I want to do is change the game a little bit. And if you're gonna do a boxing movie now, you're gonna have to do some real sparring, which is not a lot to ask. Tim, you could go and train for 2 months, and I would feel comfortable putting you in with somebody at your level to spar with. Okay, so do some real sparring and do some real fighting. Look. You don't see Tom. No one's saying, "Oh, but Tom Cruise, he's a natural-born stuntman." No, he's not. He's an actor. And he just said, "You know what? I'm going to jump off the roof, shatter my ankle for real. Don't cut the camera. Still keep rolling. I'm willing to go into this ring, get my nose busted, take a cut, maybe get KO'd, or what I think is evade a lot of shots and do well, and especially after training and being at a high level again. I think it's going to be amazing when you get the moment where the audience is sitting there watching this and you're like, oh, cool, another boxing movie. All right. So training comes in. Oh, wow. Actually looks like he knows what he's doing there. And then you see the first moment where you see me take an actual punch to the face. No fake camera angle. I'm talking a real, you can tell I just got smashed or I just smashed the other person.
Right.
It's going to be another level. And I want this moment, Tim. I will have it when the audience watches this trailer and they go, oh, that, and then that's when it's on. Now I have you.
Right.
So I'm willing to do this. think I'm the only one who can do this. And you're right, brother. I am a fighter. I am a real dancer.
Right.
I'm a real singer. I'm a real artist. I'm a real actor. And I think
That's what's up.
I was put here to do a real boxing movie,
Right.
change the game a little bit, and then go ahead and do my other projects that I want. But that's the
dope, though.
pitch for my boxing movie. It's going to be on Real, bro. And that poster behind me, that's me right there.
Champion.
That's my first fight.
Oh,
That's Edmund Tarvedian. Yeah, that's Edmund Tarvedian right there, who's the legendary, trains Ronda Rousey. And then my trainer was Eddie Cha, who's like the head trainer in Arizona for elite UFC fighters. And I was like, hey, Eddie, can I come in there and maybe be a trainer or like spar with you guys? And he was like, with all due respect, brother, my guys are like top 10 in the world. Probably would maul you. Like, yep, probably right, sir. So you saved my life there.
At least you know. You're like, at least
well,
you
dude,
know.
I mean, that's the one thing I do know.
Right.
I do know this, and I know what. And if these two guys are top 10, I'm not top 10 right now.
Who are you fighting? And who's the guy fighting you?
Well, that's the thing. So that's the catch, brother. This is gonna blow your mind. What I told you about what I do, right? My job is the front of the camera.
Right.
I found someone. His name's Adrian. And he's a young. I actually knew this guy. We came up together in like the service industry in LA. We used to work at True Food Kitchen, gang, Santa Monica. He goes by. Yeah, of course, right? Mr. Red, Mr. Rhed. But he's a filmmaker, videographer, super talented.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Bobby Brown was trying to interrupt you. Sorry, my bad.
Bobby Brown was like, dude, I'm too good to not be heard.
He was like, I can't sleep at night. I toss and turn.
Get it to him.
I was like, oh, what's up? B Brown Posse. What's up?
Bobby Brizak.
Yeah, man.
Dude, so I go to LA.
Dude, I'm excited for you, man. This movie.
Well, dude, the cool thing is the only way I can get this done and shoot a trailer that's gonna fuck everybody's shit up, right?
Right.
The only way I can shoot the trailer is to just do it myself and keep it simple, keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be low impact, very minimal people. I have the violinist. I'm not gonna be playing no music. It's good. So here's shit. Can I give it away on the Tim Stevenson show?
You can, man. That's what I do. I get the. What happened to my microphone? Hold up. Let's fix it real quick.
Man, I'm giving it all the juice.
Hold up. This is real shit.
Hold up.
This is real.
Hold up. Get ready.
I got it. I think it's back.
He's good, mate. He's quick. What? He's quick on it.
Your default has changed to the Getty, it says. Did it change to the Getty? Select. Check. Can you hear me?
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know if it's on this damn Getty or not, but fuck it. 2 peas in a bucket. That's technology.
On the Getty.
Yeah. Who's fighting you? You said a guy named.
So here we go. So how it works is this, bro.
Right here on the Tim Stevenson Show podcast. That's what's up.
Here's how it works.
Right.
I can't say everything that I just said.
Right.
Remember everything that I just said about real?
Yeah.
I can't say that and then be like, yeah, and I got this actor who's going to go in the ring with me.
No, you need a real fighter, right?
He's a smart man, Tim Stevenson. So what happens is this. I'll do a real training camp. We're going to get all that, my body transformation from where I'm at right now. Tim, 4 weeks ago, I was 240 pounds. And I looked basically the same, just thicker. Mm-hmm. So 240, I'm down to 223. And let's see. Got my calendar here because I'm all about showing it.
Ooh, that's what's up. Catalogs.
I don't play around. So I got the so we got
Yay.
Oh, so all this is basically like all through July. All all through July, it's all like, you know, calf raises, shoulders, back and by. 6 rounds on the bag. I got a bag in the other room. I got 2 rooms in here, so I got another big ass bag where I can actually box legs, chest, tri, and then I got on the 27th of July, I hit a 4-mile run. I'm talking about like out of fighting shape, no training, just mental, because that's tough. Obviously, after mile 1, I was breathing a little hard, and then after mile 2, it was tough. From mile 2 to 4 was very tough. So that's cold, no training. So I went 4 miles, and then after that, 2 days off, 45-minute walk because I was really sore, and then it's 5 miles on August, 3 miles on the 4th, 3 miles on the 5th, 6 miles. So I'm getting it in, brother. But how it works is this, man. I cannot do these things and expect to get another actor who's going to try to like do what I kind of been doing. Right. It's not fair. So what I'm going to do is, unfortunately for camera, they're going to have to figure out how the hell they're going to get this footage. But basically what it's going to be is a real fight camp, real sparring, everything, all the cuts, all the bloody noses, everything, bro, for real. Heavy, hard sparring, headgear when I'm ready, no headgear. And then we're going to do 2 amateur fights, real referee, get that footage, and then hopefully Adrian's going to be able to change the game and figure out a way to get this audio. And then what we're going to do is after that, we're going to put that together, and then we're going to make one of the most badass boxing trailers anyone's ever seen. I hope. And get a buzz going, and then from there we'll go ahead and finish what I started. But first, it's the reality, and that's fighting. Yeah. And, that's what I do, man. I'm a good fighter, and I've always been. And why not use my talent as an actor? And,
absolutely.
Try to make a good written film, and also something to where a fighter is gonna go, oh man, I can watch this, and know this guy's fucking shit. Right. Like, so that's the scoop right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That was up, dog. That is what's up. So you let me know when you're shooting, because I wanna slide in there and be like in the corner.
And that
you're like, don't throw the towel. You know what I mean? Like
don't do it.
Don't.
See, and what's crazy is so how do you do this during a pandemic, Brandon? So basically, I'm gonna have to do a half of a training camp. I'm gonna have to get myself in the best shape I can with half a training camp. I'm gonna have to use my natural boxing skills to survive. And what I'm gonna have to do is do real rounds, and I think that's gonna make it more intense because let's be honest, the earlier I get, like, I don't want to get to a full camp and be in the best shape of my life, and go sparring and then be like so good but I'm barely getting hit. I want to get hit, and I want there to be an emotional connection between me and the audience. I want them to have a bond with me before I get hit. So when I do take my first shot, they fucking kill me. Right. So how I make it happen is, like I've been doing, running my mile, getting in fighting shape, going to LA, and seeing if I can get some sparring done. What I'll have to do is probably get tested, and then see if I can go to one of these boxing gyms. And look, man, I trained with Joe Goosen up in LA, Mr. Hollywood.
Get closer to your mic. Your mic. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes.
So I went to Joe Goosen's up in LA, and he's one of the best legendary trained Diego Corrales, and the guy's a legend. I went up there, and the first thing he did was like, the guy who brought me in was like, you got to look at this guy. And I go in there, and it's the biggest, heaviest heavy bag I've ever seen in my life. The thing is not a heavy bag. It's 3 bodies together. And he goes, go ahead and wail on that for 30 seconds. I go, oh, God. So I try to show him everything. I try to show him speed. I try to show him slickness. I try to show him classic boxing. And I try to show him power. All in 30 seconds. Because I know I want to see everything.
Right.
This guy, 30 seconds goes by. He fucking looks at me and he goes, Jesus Christ, you can crack. Which means I hit tremendously hard.
Yeah.
And I immediately start working with Joe Goosen. I'm there in the camp, and he gives me I'm part of his boxing team.
Okay. Damn.
I still have to pay, right? He gives me a discount, $220 a week. It's a lot of money.
Mhm.
So I paid. I'm on my own. I don't have any investors. I'm trying to pay for this gym dues. Every single time I go into the gym, I got nothing but respect for Joe Goose. But every time I go into the gym, I don't work with Joe. I work with his assistant. So it's like me going to your hip hop class, paying you to train from Tim Stevenson,
And you
and
get
then
my
I come in there and teach the class.
Right.
And I don't know how it works, bro, but I'll tell you what, I'm definitely worth the time of Joe Goosen and him to hold mitts and all that. And especially if I'm paying over $200 a week, I think it'd be nice. Like, I think I was in there for weeks, and I remember him coming in the gym like 3 times, circling the ring, watching. I'm like, dude, you forgot everything about who I am. So I left that gym, and then I started training with Freddie Roach's assistant. Now, Freddie Roach trained me at Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And his assistant is Shane Langford. Amazing guy, great characters.
Yeah.
Got one eye. Dude, he learned everything that Freddie Roach did. I go to this guy, and I see him. He comes to True Food Kitchen, Santa Monica.
Yeah.
No one recognizes him. I do. I go, Shane Langford, I don't want to bother you. I just want to let you know you're awesome, man. And I also want you to know that I think I could be one of the top 10 in the world. I was like, I would love to work with you. He gives me a shot. So I start training with this gentleman, and he's telling me good things that make me feel like I could definitely be a boxer.
Right.
So Adrian's there, the guy I'm working with now, and he's shooting all this stuff. Shane is, homeless, and has had it tough. I don't want to speak on his too much personal problems, but with him being on the street and trying to get him to be there, and it's tough. So for me, it's been a difficult road to get to a professional level of boxing. I know how hard it is, just even for someone who can clearly work in a professional gym. So for me, I'm like, all right, cool. So look, let me just put this on film and try to up the level of, because what we have is Creed, U2, Raging Bull's amazing, Rocky. No one really watched that Roberto Duran movie with a really good actor. Robert De Niro was in the movie.
No.
Didn't do well at all. So it's open, bro. It's open right now, and so I think there's a spot, a void for me to come in there and kind of shake shit up right now.
Why not? Why not?
You know what I'm saying?
The time is now. Damn, Gino. Dude, I'm so glad I got to talk to you. It's been like an hour.
I lost him.
15. Oh, can you hear me now?
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hold now.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go, dog.
Yeah, man.
I had to take off the microphone and
sometimes
all
it's
that
the
stuff.
technical shit that gets in the way. I can't wait till I get a little bit of this money that's coming my way soon to properly set up a room to do my podcast. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be dialed. You know what I mean? Like your mics are dialed. Like Rogan, you guys have TVs on the other side, and you got a dude over there who's pulling up information. Hey, man, pull up that clip. And you're like, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. And have more than one camera, like you and the other person's POV or whatever, and just do cool shit, So I'm just going to keep doing this. So, I took 2 weeks off because that Tyson thing, and then some other stuff happened. And I go, look, I need to, but now I'm trying to just gear them up. So I got you, and I got this girl Nakia. She was a Power Ranger, and then some other people. And what I had to do what I had to do that was different from my old podcast. Was male heavy, right? All choreographers and directors and producers, but all men, right? Except for I had one girl singer on there with Chris Dupre. When he was on there, he brought this girl. But other than that, so that's why I interviewed Stephanie Maroney. She's a model, and some other people. And because of that, my audience is growing. Because
Stephanie Maroney, what's up? Shout out to Stephanie Maroney. That was a great
you know her. That's right.
I mean, God, can I say I know her?
Yeah.
I mean, probably in working, right? But dude, she's gorgeous, obviously very pretty, and you know she's doing her thing, and that was a good podcast. You know, obviously, man, dude, I Eddie, that's my boy.
Eddie Garcia. Yeah.
So it's just nice, man, to see some familiar faces and like get to know a little bit more. Yeah, get to know a little bit more about people.
You'd be like, I know that person. Oh yeah, I know that person.
I know them.
I know them. You're like, these ones back in the day, you know. So I'm kind of just.
Well, dude, I got to tell you though, it's kind of an honor to be number 5, 6.
I think you're 5. I had Eddie, Miguel, Matt, and I, and Steph. So you're number 5. Right? Yeah, I did because I did 2. Yeah, you're 5 because I did 2 with Miguel because we talked. Miguel's like my brother. I mean, he was the best man at my wedding. So we went on for hours, but I didn't want to post a 2-hour podcast, so I just posted an hour and then I posted a part 2. Right?
How it goes sometimes, bro.
Yeah. But like, I want to keep this rocking because it's starting to build. And I go, look, I got a lot to say, and then we'll have repeat people because just like Joe Rogan, I've seen Kevin Hart on like 5 times. I've seen on Brilliant Idiots, they bring people all the time. It's just glad to.
Well, you start getting those guests where like your fan base of people watching your podcast are like, oh shit, like I want Brandon back on, like I want Stephanie back on, you know, I want Eddie back on, like you know, sometimes that happens, you know.
Yeah.
And dude, there's so much to talk about. Like I haven't even dude, are you kidding me, bro? Like I haven't even talked to you, bro. So I'm like, I mean, like the podcast, but I'm also like, dude, what's up, bro? Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know,
it's been a minute, and we're gonna definitely do a couple of these like in the near future because I want to. Because what I can do is, you know, I could do them and then I could post it like 5 days later because I can post something in between, right? But
of course.
That's what we do, you know what I mean? Because you got a lot going on. You know, we just scratched the surface of catching up. Like we got all kinds of stuff we can talk about. Like, you know what I mean? So,
dude, I got notes and topics. So yeah, I mean, that's what's cool, man. I've never done. You know what's awesome? I've never done this before. I did a TV show called Video Hot Mix on Channel 9. It was me and Joe Smith, legendary NBA basketball player, and I interviewed Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. I was on the video sets. It was wild. He was in the studio. He kicked it out to me at the video sets, and it was dope show. Video premiere. It was major. And Bob Hernandez, rest in peace, my old manager, he was the one who put that together. And he was Akon. He worked with Akon. He was like Convict Man of the Year, dude. I mean, that guy was like, Akon would do performances and go to places, and we would roll up there, and he'd fill the whole place with flyers, make sure food was there, drink was there. Like, he was on it, dude.
That's dope.
I never asked for nothing from that guy. Yeah, he was dope. So, but anyway, yeah, man. I mean, it's awesome. I've never done a podcast. I've only done like interviewing other people. Right. So it is kind of interesting being on the other side, but it's definitely nice. It's definitely an open format for sure, and it needs to be done.
Exactly,
it needs to be done.
Absolutely.
There's so many podcasts, different podcasts out there that you got to find your own little pocket, man. There's so many people that like what you like in your genre.
Well, the pockets are endless because it's not like you're going to run out of people. You can have, like right now, there's thousands of podcasts, but depending on what your niche is and what you like, you may only watch the gamer podcast, or you may only watch Joe Rogan, or you may only watch Dak Shepard, or you may only watch, Gary Owen or whatever, right? So it doesn't really matter. Like as long as you have an audience, someone's going to pay attention, because then what happens is, so Timothy De La Ghetto was the only Asian dude for a moment on Wild 'N Out, right? So he has a thing called No Chaser podcast. It's him. And it's
really short guy, really short dude,
really short Asian guy, right? He was the only Asian guy on Wild 'N Out for a minute.
He was the only Asian guy. Okay,
yeah. So
he's really funny. He's really funny though.
Because him and his girl Nikki Blades and his other black kid are on there, and they broadcast from LA somewhere, I think, right? But because he had a lot of attention on Wild 'N Out, right, and then he got his own podcast. I mean, he's literally reading commercials that are paying for his podcast. He's a big piece of paper. Yeah. He's like, this one is sponsored by tequila, whatever.
Right? How's he, like, are these guys, because I don't know, much about the algorithm, but like for me, like right now, until I don't know if I'm gonna do podcasts quite yet, but I think for my channel, it's gonna be, for instance, it'll be, let's say I'm moving out of state. I'm moving out of state for the first time on my own. I'm going full minimalist. Or another title like watched 1 too many motivational videos. I'm over motivated. Whatever, something to catch somebody, a thumbnail, right? So
right.
How do you get a podcast to grow in that sense? Do you do it that way, or is it more word of mouth? I don't know how that works.
It starts with word of mouth, right? You got to post. So then you got to post, I got a podcast, just like now. You got to get subscribers, and people start to subscribe. And then the more you have content, the more somebody else goes, oh, you're subscribing to that. What is that? And then they check it out. Then it's the people that watch. So for instance, Matt and I is a comedian. He's in Laugh Factory. He's in movies, whatever. So people in Hollywood know who he is. So he's like, oh, I'm on this podcast. Now you got an audience. Well, then the subscriber now is a number game, right? So then I did the same thing with like Miguel, but nobody knew Miguel except for like my group of friends or people that he worked at Warner Brothers, right? But then when I had Stephanie on, it was twofold. One, she's a model. So everybody who knows the model game knows her. And second, because she's an attractive woman, then you just get viewers. Who's the girl he's interviewing? Who's that? I want to see what she's got to say. And then she gets on there with an Australian accent, and all of a sudden, because she passed Eddie's numbers in the first the first day I posted it, huh?
God, you know what? It's funny. It's such a subtle accent. I do remember her having a little bit of an accent, but I couldn't place it. By the way, Australian accent. Let me hear yours, because I don't have one.
Dude, mine's horrible. You know how I know mine is horrible?
Okay, the hardest one.
So me and Stephanie, way back when, and we still kind of.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying about.
We have a show that we have called My Big Black Brother, right? But it's when she says it, she was like, "I'm Stephanie Maroney, and this is my big black brother," right? And I was like, "But see, you could say that, and it's dope. I can't say that." You know what I mean? So, and I was like, "This is perfect." Australian girl model comes to LA. I'm like a brother figure to her because when she got here, I told her all the people that she should stay away from in Hollywood. I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Anything after 6 o'clock is not business, period.
So what, only 3 people you introduced her to?
Yeah.
You're like, everyone's in Hollywood bad shit.
Yeah, but then she worked at a couple of the bars and stuff.
No,
and of course, that's what happened. Then she got hit on by every fool in the business. She's been through those parties and going, this is weird, I'm not doing this anymore. So she kind of like, because she's like, look, no one's taking me seriously. They're just looking at me and going, yeah, I want you to be a statistic.
Speaking of girls and them getting hit on, so have we not learned, ladies and gentlemen, I'm single, and right. I will be single for the rest of my life. It's an educated decision. But for girls, man, you guys got to realize, I'm talking to you ridiculous gentlemen out there who have no lack of social skills, maybe.
Right.
And maybe a little bit too much rouge on their own image of themselves. First of all, stay in your lane when it comes to women. There are levels to this. Be realistic. I'm not saying you can't shoot your shot with a gorgeous girl who's out of your league, but know a girl's out of their league. And how it works every single time, guys, you never pull a girl. You never pull a girl. The girl allows you to continue. Right. So there's no ego. There's no confidence. There's no you're a baller. You're a player. You're nothing. No. You walk in. The girl decides. Period. So that's, it's a fundamental thing that I luckily learned young. And I'm the guy, I'll even tell a girl too, I'll be like, look, it might be 3 days on a date and I don't even try to kiss you. Don't take it personally. I just don't want you to be uncomfortable at all the whole time during this development process. And that's me able to control my hormones and also thinking like end game. I know, dude, after you sleep with somebody, you still got to talk to them after, brother.
Right.
So you probably want to know them. So for me,
one of those celebrities are like, no. There's a lot of those.
It is. I mean, and I just think it's, I'm not perfect. I'm just saying though, like, you got to know what's up. You got to know that the ladies are choosing, and that's fine because that's how it rolls. And I have nothing wrong with you going up and being like, even if you go up and you think that you said the best line and you got that. No, she was just listening to your ass and then going, yeah, I like your face, or I like how your whole personality, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then there's that process of like the first couple of days, man. I'm like, dude, I won't even attempt to kiss a girl, and I'll have a girl even ask me multiple times, like, I'm not worried about getting into a friend zone, dude, because if a girl wants you, the girl's going to do something. And every single time, like a charm, they come and they kiss my face, and I don't have to worry about making them uncomfortable with my big ass fucking face coming to their, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ, guys.
He's trying to eat me, right?
He's trying to my face, gigantic.
He's hungry, fat bastard.
Look at him. Like, so guys, take it easy. Develop the social skills, and timing, and just be so chill. Like, when I see a girl, dude, when I see a girl, it's funny. When I see a girl, the prettier the girl is, the less I give any kind of
right. But she's the one who comes up to you at the end of the night because she wants to know why you're so confident that you were the only one in the bar that didn't hit on her, and then now you're like, ding, ding.
Yeah. And game, and it's at the end of the day, it's like, it's how it should be, man. Yeah. Like, it should be. And don't get me wrong, dude. Like, if there's 3 guys in a room and there's one gorgeous girl that I want, and I know that somebody else wants up to her, well, I'm gonna finagle the situation, and I'm gonna make sure that when I say something to her, it's gonna be slick as I can. It's gonna be good. And if I can't catch her attention in that 5 seconds, then that's my wrap-up. But at least I'm going to make an effort for it. But most of the time, dude, I'm chilling, bro, because the girls will make their decision. Just like at the dance, everybody's standing against the wall. The girl come and pick you, they come and pick you. Valentine's Day, bro, we were trained for this at school, gentlemen, and you forgot this. Remember Valentine's Day? When you sat there in a chair and the girl put an envelope in your thing, in your bag? Did you get one? Well, did you not? Well, if you didn't, you don't go to the girl and go, hey, how come you didn't put... So it stems from that, man. It's always been set up that way, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not no psychologist, but the more and more I learn about like gaslighting, dude, the more right, Dr. D, the more and more I learn about like psychology and like people, and the fact that like we don't have as much control of our emotions as we think we do, and there's so many variables, and the odds of getting someone who's like has good social skills, who also is not toxic, it's very tough. It can be done, but I don't think that people take relationships seriously enough, man. If you're going to get into a relationship or date someone, you take that super serious, because it could be the most serious thing of your life. Right. And we just like, ladies and guys want something serious, right? I want a serious relationship, but you don't take it seriously in the beginning. I'm sorry. What's happening?
The problem in the beginning a lot of times is that you pass over and are nonverbal about things that would normally annoy you because you're in the courting phase and you don't want that person to think certain things. So you're like, oh yeah, when she does
honeymoon
that,
phase.
It drives me crazy, and then guys are like, let it go. And then later on, they're like, that fucking shit pisses me off still. You're like, well, you didn't say anything at the beginning. It's your fault.
Let me give you another secret in the world of success here when it comes to dating, because I say this with no ego, but I don't get a lot of complaints of like, oh man, it's just like so aggressive. I will be persistent if I want something. But as far when it comes to physical, we're together, I'm chilling like a cucumber. And that makes girls open up and be like, okay, cool. He's not going to try to fucking attack me tonight. Like, sweet. I might even, and then day 2 comes and she's like, wow, he's like not going to come in for a kiss. Cool. And then now you have the initial.
You have to make sure that she doesn't go, he doesn't like me. Right? Like,
Oh no. Here's the thing though.
Yeah.
The whole time, I'm a bad boy. I'm flirty, and trust me, that's the balance. You let them know you're fucking into it. You just also let them know that you're not gonna fucking touch them. Another thing is too, man, like I said, relationships are super serious. You got to take them serious. And people, they do not respect relationships. They can become dangerous. They can become toxic. They can get physical. You can get hit. I've been hit. So it's dangerous, man. I think people just jump from relationship to relationship and like, oh, I like your face. I want to date you. It's like, wow, you don't know that person at all.
That was very Orange County of you.
I'm working on all
Trust
that.
me, I still sound Orange County, but I get it. Yeah.
Well,
County,
dude, we are Orange County.
We are like, bro, dude, it's on, bro.
Bro,
dude,
like, even though you're in Boone,
man,
bro, even though you're in Florida and I'm in River,
we're gonna talk about some stuff that we're gonna do later on. But
we'll get organized and get some things
organized and we'll do it. But thank you. Stay safe. Wash your hands out in Riverside. It's dirty as a motherfucker out there. And
you already know,
right? And you gotta keep these. That's what's up. All right, Dino. I will see you soon, my brother. Love you, man. I will talk to you soon, man. All right.
Peace.
Wake up, it's the Tim Stevenson Show.